Interviews about to enter the workforce. Great for adults and career transitions, college and internship interviews, re-enter the workforce. Contact Spartan City Writers at yahoo.com to get more information. It's Jessica Crenshaw. And we're back on the live show on KWAM 980 Talk Radio, where we educate, empower, and enrich the community. And Dr. Black is about to tell us something good on this show about this new book called Becoming. You can cut it, John. So, Dr. Black, I'm going to let you rip the show and talk to us about your new book, Becoming.
Well, first of all, tell us who you are. Tell our readers and our listeners who you are, what you do, and why they call you Dr. Black.
Well, my name is Daniel Black. I'm professor of African American Studies at Clark Atlanta University, and I'm a novelist. I'm a novelist and professor. I write books particularly concerning the African American plight in this place called America. And one of my latest books is titled The Coming. And The Coming is a retelling, is a reimagining, is a reliving, is a ritual of what it means to understand the trip African people took from Africa to America and to Brazil and to other parts of the diaspora. The entire book takes place on what is called the Middle Passage, this day by day by day by day journey across the Atlantic Ocean to scatter the seed of African people throughout the world. The book is about that journey, that trip, what that trip did to a people psychologically, emotionally, and spiritually, and the unbelievable achievement of what it meant to survive such a moment.
So I was reading on Amazon, I was getting the critics, what do they call it? Reviews of The Coming. And so one of the reviews said, when a name is unknown, one was assigned based on how that individual behaved. And I said, And then I wrote a question down. Why is it important for an individual to know their name?
See, the importance of a name is the announcement of why you came to the earth at all. A name tells the world why you ever came to this place called the planet. The name is the announcement of the holes, the gaps you will feel that no one else in humanity was able to feel but you.
Lord have mercy.
The name and the meaning of your name tells us what that is. It helps us to understand that you are the answer to the prayer that folks have sent to God some time ago. A name also signifies and helps a person to understand that some people are supposed to be still. Other people are supposed to be in constant movement. Some people are supposed to fight. Other people are supposed to heal. Other people are supposed to weep. Some people are supposed to moan. Some people are supposed to dance. And if everyone understood that before you ever were conceived, you already existed. Coming to this place called America, you agreed to come and to do the particular work that your spirit has sent you to do. No one gives you a destiny. You agreed to that destiny before you were ever conceived. And the name simply announces to you what you agreed to as a spirit.
So that's why it's important what you answer to when people call you.
That's absolutely right. And it's important what not to answer to.
Hello, somebody. Ooh, so you need to know your purpose.
Absolutely. And if you don't, people will assign you a purpose.
Talk Black!
That's what I say.
Wait a minute. If you know somebody, call them right now at 901. No, tell them to call into this show at 901-260-5926. Again, our number is 901-260-5926 to talk to Dr. Black.
No, we don't want them to talk to Dr. Black because they're going to take up our time. We just want you to listen to the radio show.
Well, wait a minute. Okay, I got another one. Okay. So I was reading, and it says, you said you are who you are because that's who you were supposed to be. So we was already destined to be who we are now. That's why it's important not to want to be anybody else.
That's right. That's right. And you really can't be. And really what life means, the word life really is one's journey to get back to what you already agreed to do before you were ever conceived. Life is, can you find in this dimension what you agreed to do and be before you ever came? If so, you are now in what's called purpose.
Lord have mercy.
You don't get a destiny because you live here. You get a destiny because you were studying what the planet lacked as a spirit.
Wait, what?
You know, but the scriptures support this too. The scriptures say, before you were ever conceived in your mother's womb, I knew you.
Jeremiah 29.
That's right.
Wait a minute. So wait a
And
minute.
Africans knew that.
So we agreed on our purpose.
That's right. You agreed to come before you were ever conceived.
Lord have mercy.
The only reason to be born, that word to be born, the only reason is to be born is because you have the secret to fill the gaps that others cannot fill.
Talk black.
So, when I was reading in the book, and it's from the feedback they were writing from the book, and they did some excerpts, and it said, when we come to understand that while home, everyone knows their purpose. Nothing about one's being is accidental, coincidental. I sit with this notion for a moment because today's culture, or maybe it's American culture, teaches that Z was caused by X or Y. However, in the coming, you are who you are because that's who you were supposed to be.
That's right.
Nothing caused one to be a certain way. That we were all things, all personality types. And captivity did not turn one into something they were not.
That's right. And this is very, very important for us to understand. Slavery didn't make us a new thing.
Hello.
Slavery simply took us to a new place.
Okay.
Right? So what we have to be very clear about is we come from people who understand that anything and everything that happens in your life, the point and function of that thing is ultimately to get you to the clarity of why you ever came. If my mother died, that the function of your mother dying has everything to do with getting you clear on your purpose. See, sometimes God has to move people out of your way in order that you might create a yearning.
Hello.
Right? It's not a bad thing always. Sometimes it's so that you might create a yearning for you to know, what are you doing here? People get more desperate when you lose things. So sometimes in loss, God's trying to help you find yourself.
This dude in here is flat-foot preaching. Lord have mercy. Wait a minute. Repeat that again. I love that.
Yes, sometimes loss is the greatest blessing.
Lord have mercy.
Oh, you're absolutely right.
That'll preach.
Yes.
You're absolutely right.
Which is why Jesus was always careful not to amass things. Because when you amass things, we lose sight of spiritual purpose.
I'm not talking.
Me either.
Not-
Keep going, Dr. Black.
But no, this is it's really very important. And what we have to understand, you know, you've heard people say, well, you know, when Africans were brought here, they were stripped of their culture. No, they were not stripped of culture. They just took culture to another part of the world. How we saw God, how we understood God, how we understood language, how we understood ritual, how we understood love. All of that came along with us. What really simply happened was African people had something spiritually that God wanted the rest of the world to have. And so we were forced around the planet in order to take it.
Lord have mercy.
Dropped all along the Caribbeans and the
Lord have mercy.
See, there's no jazz without African people coming along the Middle Passage. There is no gospel music. There is no blues. Here we are in the home of the blues. But the blues, in order for the blues to happen, the people had to first be blue in order to sing it.
You ain't lying. No, I mean, hey,
It's true.
It is true. Just think about it.
That's right.
You can't. If you've never been through anything in life, how can you be impactful and powerful telling
That's
other
right.
people on how to overcome odds and blah 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 blah? If you hadn't gone through
That's
anything in life,
absolutely right.
oh my goodness,
So
Lord have
let me
mercy.
ask a difficult question. In slavery, and the people that were enslaving us, did you think they knew what they were doing?
They knew what they were doing, but they didn't know to whom they were doing it.
Okay.
They didn't really understand the magnitude of African people and the spiritual inheritance and the spiritual reservoir of the people they were bringing here. Because really, they were enslaving their own saviors.
Oh my.
Wait a minute. Okay, elaborate. Like
Yes.
you got like 1 minute for our next break. Wait a
I'm
minute.
hanging. Tell us a little bit.
You tell us a little
It's
bit.
true. It's true. I'm very clear that in enslaving African people, they did not understand that they were taking people around the world who had known God for thousands and thousands of years. They thought they were introducing a people to God. They were not introducing African people to God. They were introducing African people to the God they knew.
Lord have mercy.
African people brought God along with us. But what we got to be clear about is all things work together for good.
Absolutely.
So that in African people coming, there was a part of God that Europeans, etc., did not know, which they would be forced to know when they met these people. And that becomes part of the purpose. And we have to understand that purpose is not always kindness. Purpose is not always nice. Purpose is not always easy. But in one's name, what we come to know, what we come to understand, is this movement of African people around the world has done nothing but bless people everywhere those folks have ended up.
That's why it's important to show gratitude to the process of life.
Absolutely.
And we don't. I was talking about the process yesterday. The process is the end outcome of all these things we go through in life. We should celebrate the process.
That's right, and not the product.
Right.
Which is why I always tell people, don't look forward to going to heaven.
Right.
Don't try to go to heaven. If you didn't make a heaven, you don't get one.
Child, we gotta take a break. Lord have mercy. This man here, Lord, this is our last break of this show.
Tell him again before we take our break.
Dr. Black, oh my! If you know somebody,
if you don't make a heaven, you can't go to heaven.
Lord have
mercy.
If you don't know somebody, tell them to tune into KWAM 990 Talk Radio, or get on Facebook on my page or my mother page and listen to this genius in here. This is some powerful and beautiful work. This is The Coming. This book is available on Amazon.com under Daniel Black. We'll be right back after this pause for this cause. Oh my goodness, Dr.
If you don't make a heaven, you can't get to heaven.
We good. This guy right here.
I'm gonna give you credit for everything.
So Lil, I'm gonna give you. Look, I'll tweet you. Oh my, this dude here. Oh my goodness. Lord have mercy. He said they didn't know whom they was doing it to. Lord have mercy.
And I do believe that.
I agree. Lord have mercy.
Oh my God.
Y'all better call somebody to tell them Dr. Black in the studio, ripping the studio up.
He's tearing it up, man. Shooting up the scenery.
Look, they're gonna talk about some, wow, if you didn't make a heaven, you don't get one.
If you don't make a heaven, you can't get to heaven. Hey, say it for me right here.
If you don't create a heaven, you don't get a heaven.
Look, they hollering, wow, you could. Look, everybody can comments on here.